Katrina here from Scrappy Horses, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's tutorial is a little different because I am not featuring a finished project. I'm just out to share some ideas in Cricut Design Space. I'm going to be bringing in some paper from DeCus's Dynamite Doodles and an image that you can pick up free from Connie Fong. So with no further ado, let's get started. First off, if you like these kinds of projects and you enjoy working in Cricut Design Space, then you might enjoy subscribing to my YouTube channel, so you can always just click the little button down there. I'm sure you're familiar with that. And then you can catch some of my old videos as well as any new ones that come out. Also, you might enjoy visiting my blogspot, which is scrappyhorses.blogspot.com. So let's get started with some fun new ideas. So here we are in Cricut Design Space. All right. And the first thing I'd like to address is how we can insert digital images. So let's start with that. This particular digital image is Snowy, and he is free on Connie Fong's Facebook page. All you have to do is just go to her Facebook page and join the Facebook page, and you can find that image. So you know what? I'm going to make this really easy. And since this is a video tutorial, I'll just show you how to do that so you don't miss out. Pull up your browser. I'm going over to Facebook. I went to Connie Fong. Once I got to Connie Fong's page, I just went to Media. All right? I just pressed the Media. Then I clicked on Albums. Then I scan down here and I keep going. I have to scan down a little ways and you'll find the freebie member celebration. All right. And that's where you will find this particular digi that we're going to pull in. Now, once you move that over to your desktop, which all you have to do on my computer is just left click it and move it over. It's pretty simple. Then once you bring it in, you just simply click upload your image, drag it. I'm left clicking and dragging over. And there it is. First, we're going to bring it in. So let's finish bringing it in. I always just hit complex. You could hit simple probably because it's just a black and white image. But since we're going to print it, I always hit complex. Continue. So let's talk about what we can do with this now that we've brought it partially in. First, we can make it smaller. We can zoom out. Okay, we can zoom in. I'm doing this by left clicking these little magnifying glasses here. All right, so I'm going to zoom out so I can see the whole image. And let's say that I want to crop this. I want to get rid of some of the white space. This little icon right here, this little kind of box, says crop. Click that. And you just basically crop what you want. And now we got rid of the extra white space, or some of the extra white space. Again, I can zoom out so that I can see the whole image. Now you can also erase. There's just a little itty bitty space here you want to erase. Let's say you want to erase, there's an extra little heart here, and you want to erase that little heart because you don't want that. You can just take this, rub it over, and that just erases that out. Now, probably if I were going to do that, I would first come over to this little magic wand where you select and erase, and it takes away all of this. Now you can erase what's within spots too. So see this little white here that's within this? Boom, I can erase that. Let's say for some reason I wanted just the hat erased, because maybe I wanted to fill that with a digital. I could come in and click that, and it would take that away. And then I could actually insert a paper pattern behind there, and that would give me that texture or that design without having to color it in. Okay, now let's say, oh, I didn't want that. Okay, all I have to do is come up here and hit undo, undo, undo. And there it is, back to where I had it before. Okay, now let's say I change my mind again, I want to redo it. I can hit the redo button and it will redo. But now I've changed my mind again, I'm going to undo that. All right, so I have this image now just the way I want it. I'm going to continue. And now here it is. Okay, now obviously when you download this image of Snowy, it's not going to have this watermark on it. I have watermarked this so that the image can't be taken directly from my video, that anyone who wants it will have the opportunity then to visit Connie Fong's Facebook page and pick it up there. All right, so I have named this image Connie Fong Image Watermarked for Demo. You can name your image whatever you like. I personally like to name my images with the designer's name and then the name of the image. That way, if I want to work with a Connie Fong image, I can just type in Connie Fong when I go to do a search, and all of her images will come up. Now, I do that by tagging. So I'm just going to use my cursor. I'm going to hit Command C, put my cursor here, click, Command V, and I have just copied it into the tags box. And that is how I will find it in a search. So I'm going to separate this by commas so I could type in Connie Fong. I don't need the word image, so I'm going to take that out. Anything that I've watermarked for a demo, I might want, so I'll go ahead and do that. I might also mark it with penguin, animal, winter, hat, gift, scarf. You could mark it with whatever you want. Then if I know I'm doing an animal challenge and I just type in the word animal, then all of my different animals will come up. And I'll have those to choose from when I go to do a search. So let's go ahead now and hit save. It's down here in the right-hand corner. And we have now saved that. Now let's say I want to bring him into my project. All I have to do is with my mouse, I left click. I come right here. I say I would like to insert that image. And there he is. Now, I know that I would like to use some fun Christmas paper. So I'm going to go into, grab some digital paper, a digital design from DeCossa's Dynamite Doodles. Lisa is a dear friend of mine, and so I always like to use her paper. She has some really fun designs. This is from Holiday Hoopla. It's available at Scribbles Designs. Okay, now let me just take you over there so you can see that real quickly. Here's Scribbles Designs. And you know what? Just copy this. Here's a fun, I'll show you how I do this. I can take this and I can just select it with my cursor, hit Command C, which copies it. I can take this over now, and I'll show you in a minute how to copy it right over here. But here you can see the different papers that are available from the Holiday Hoopla collection. They're fun. I have this collection. I enjoy it. Okay, so let's come back here now. All right, we don't need that. And let's say I've picked up this text and I just want to copy it. So I hit text. My text box comes up here. I click there, Command V. Now you can't see all of that, so I'm going to come in and change the width to about 12 inches, return, and now there it is. So there you go. If you're interested in seeing where to find that exactly, there's that website for you. It'll also be down in the box below in the information box, so you'll be able to find all of these resources quickly and easily. All right, so let's just move this off. There we go. And I'm going to show you how to import this fun candy cane paper. All right, so again, we're going to upload, and you'll see there's that little penguin. And we're going to upload a pattern. So see here it says pattern fill. We're going to upload a pattern. So with my mouse, I am left clicking. I can just pick it up over here and drag it in. Now again, my pattern name, DeCosta's Dynamite Doodles, Holiday Hoopla, paper, stripes. This is just a sample. I can say that I would use this for Christmas. The style is, you can choose whatever you feel the style is, stripes. It's red, it's green, it's white, it's multicolored, and you're going to be able to choose from these different options here. So although it says optional, I highly recommend this because it's easier to search by color than these others. All right, so I hit save. And it takes a second on my computer. Now I'll tell you, I live out in the country, so my internet connection is not as quick as some of you might have. So some of yours might upload much more quickly than mine. All right, so now I'm just going to hit cancel. So today I'm going to work with mostly free things on Cricut Design Space. That way I don't have to go through and watermark all the images. So I'm just going to come in here for shapes. I'm going to pick up this free shape, a square, and I want my free shape a heart. Okay. I'm going to make a card here. So I know that my card base, I would like it 4 1/4, so 4.25 by 5 1/2. Now I'm typing this in on my keypad here below, and then I'm just clicking with my mouse here, and I've got this. Now I did have to unlock this to get this square to turn into a rectangle. Now I know that this is the size I want. I'm going to lock it back up. All right, now I can either copy this or I can pull in another rectangle. It doesn't matter. So let's just let's do a copy here. There are a couple of ways to do it. I can click this. I can come over to duplicate here in this panel, in the layers panel, and I can say duplicate that. Now when I design cards, oftentimes this is my card base, and now I have another layer. Okay, I usually run that one for, not always, but 4 point by 5.25. Okay, and that just sits right in there. Okay, but today, so I can show you something really different, I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna make this smaller. I'm gonna make it about a 3.75. So again, I'm typing this in on my keypad, and I just click that, and I'm gonna leave it at 5.25. All right, I'm just kind of designing this on the fly for you here. Okay, I'm gonna make this white. Okay, so I just changed the color by, let's go back and do that again. All right, so I just hit this back arrow to go back, by the way. Here it is. It's a basic cut. This is something new on Design Space. It's kind of changed this here, basic cut. And I want it white, so I just come and I find my little white square. White. All right. All right, now let's bring this heart over now. Now see here how it is gray. I want to do something fun here. I want to change this. So I want to change it to a print then cut. All right. So I'm going to say standard print then cut. And this is new in Design Space too. So you have your choice of cutting, basic, wavy, or perforate. Then you get to draw, and you've got your choices, then print then cut. So I'm going to go with standard. Here's my print type. Now, do I want it a color, print it in just a color, or do I want to print a pattern? Let's print a pattern. Now, I just uploaded this new one, remember? So I'm going to choose it. All right, so all I did was left click this pattern that came up. All right, I want to edit that pattern. Okay, and there are lots of different ways I can edit it. I can make it bigger. I can make it smaller. All right, usually I go about 100 unless there's something I want to change. Now, see how this sort of repeats right here? You can see this. I can move this up and down. Can you see that moving? And I can move it right and left. Okay, so let's just leave it right there. I can also rotate it by clicking this. I can also take this and just quickly swipe over, use my keypad, type in a 0, hit return on my keypad, and it just takes us back. Okay, so I can use the arrows here, or I can just type in what I want. Same in this box, same in this box, same in this box. I can flip it, and I can flip it up and down. All right, so I've decided I like the way this is. So I just hit my X, and there it is. All right, now I'm going to move this to the front. The way I move it to the front is I right click with my mouse, and I can say send to front. Boom. I want it right there. All right, at an angle. Now let's grab Snowy. He is so cute. And I'm going to move him to the front. Again, right click, send to front. And I'm going to set him in just like this. Okay, isn't that cute? Move this up a little bit. Move him up a little bit. All right. Now, I want to print and cut. Not this part, because this is my card base. So get rid of that. Okay. That's my piece that I'm going to cut, by 8.5 by 5.5 and fold it. So that's my card base. And for fun, I'm going to show you how to change the color on that. Let's say we want a dark green card base. Okay, so I select it here. I come over to material colors and let's just do that. And let's do it a little brighter. So again, let's go down and click the advanced. So again, select, hit the little color square, and then hit advanced if it's not already up, and I can change this color. Okay, so I know exactly what it's going to look like with my project. All right, great. Now I want all of this to print, but wait, while we're here, let's go ahead and let's bring in some text. I want to put Merry Christmas up here. So let's go to the text box, type in Merry Christmas. And we can choose different fonts over here. We can choose the sizes. We can curve it. That's always fun. Okay. We can we can ungroup to letters. If I had more than one line here, I could ungroup to lines by clicking, and I'm just left clicking these different options. Alignment, if I want it left, center, or right. Again, this is really helpful if you have different lines and you want to center them all. You can change your line spacing, your letter spacing, font size, all these different things. Now, I think that black might be a little stark here, so let's say I want a different color. Okay, again, I can come up and hit my color, and I can choose whatever color I like. I could choose to do it in red or some green to match my card base here, or just a dark gray. Maybe I wanted that. I'm going to choose that. Now, it's too big, obviously, for my card, so I'm going to bring it up, select it, and bring it up. And let's just say I want to do this. Now, let's say I'm not very good at eyeballing that. Let's just take these guys away. I can take my cursor down here with my hand, my mouse, left click, select these two, and I can align. Center horizontally, and now it's centered. Now let's say, again, I have a little bit of trouble manually moving something and keeping it straight. On my keyboard I have arrows. I can just hit my arrow there and move it down. Okay, now let's bring my heart back in. Let's bring this little penguin back up. He's so cute, or she's so cute. I always call him a him, a he. And let's bring this in because I want to make sure that this is all going to sit on my card base here. Now I moved that, so now I've got to move this. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull this off and this off, and just to set this up, I'm going to align my white and green, and I just want that centered. Now I'm going to make the green disappear for a moment. I want to go ahead and align this horizontally. Okay, let's bring this back. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring in my heart, and again I want it to fit on this card base. Here's Snowy, bringing him, her in. All right, this looks pretty much the way I want it. Maybe I'd like this heart just a little higher. Maybe I'd like Snowy just a little higher too. Now I'm going to pull this green base away. I'm going to select all of this. All right, I'm going to flatten. So I'm coming back over. I've just used my mouse I drag it over everything here. Okay, selected everything. Coming to this right-hand panel, and I'm going to hit flatten. When I go to cut it, it's going to print this, and it's going to cut that little heart out for me. But when I make the card, then I'll just take this front panel and adhere it to the card base. Now, if I wanted to, before I adhere it, if I want to layer it, I can always bring in another shape here and see what that's going to look like. Let's say I want to layer it. Okay. And I'm going to send that to the back. Now grab my green, send that to the back. Again, I'm just using my mouse to do this. And now I can see what it looks like if I want to layer it with one more color. Okay. That's kind of fun, isn't it? Okay, so that's how I do my designing in Design Spaces. I just kind of lay it out here and get an idea of what I like. Now, once I have copied this, I go ahead and print it then on Neenah cardstock, usually. If I'm going to Copic color, I do. If I want to use watercolors or some other medium, then I would use a different paper. Let's go ahead now, and if you want to save your project, which I always recommend that, in Design Space, just save it. That way, if something doesn't go right, you've got it. So I left click up here, save. I name my project, tutorial. Then I hit save. That is now saved. I hit make it. This was our card base. This was our card backing layer. Okay, we just backed it in there, layered that piece. I'll just cut those with a paper cutter, and this one will actually cut and print. All right, so let's actually walk through this process. Go ahead and hit continue, this little green button here. I have a Cricut Maker, so it tells me that I'm connected to that machine. I say I want to send this to printer. And I have, I want to use my Epson printer. I use my system dialog because I have a little bit of control in how it prints that way. So now I click print. Now it's going to show up behind this. All right. So my printer is my Epson. I have some options then when I hit my printer settings. Okay. So I've got my plain paper. I can print it standard or vivid or Adobe RGB. I can change my output resolution. I can change my print mode here. And I even can come in here and change some things here on mine, advanced color settings. I know sometimes people say that it doesn't turn out as bright as they would like, so you can change brightness here, contrast. That would take knowing your printer and experimenting a little bit with that. So I'm going to leave it at basic here. I'm going to actually go ahead and print this for you so you can see the way it cuts out. But I'm actually going to print it in just a standard because I'm printing this watermark, and I'm actually just going to print it on some inexpensive cardstock just for this demo. So I'm going to hit economy. So it's not going to print with the same kind of color that I would normally have. So I clicked print. Now I need to choose, before I cut it, the material, and the material I am using is about an 80-pound cardstock, so I'll choose that. Now I just fed my mat with my paper, printed paper, into my Cricut, and I am going to cut it. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to cut this piece, which is our layering piece, just with my paper cutter, and I'll also use a pre-made card base, or I'll cut my own card base using the paper cutter. Also, I don't need to use the Cricut for that, so I can hit cancel. And yes, I am sure, so I click yes. And again, I don't want to cut that, so I'm going to say cancel. And I'm back to my project as it was. So here I'm going to insert just a still shot of the piece that I cut so that you can see that it actually cut. It's one sheet of paper with it printed on, but it cut around that heart shape so that you can see how that worked. It's a really fun technique to use, and it's all just one sheet with several layers. Nice and inexpensive to mail and easy to use. So I'm hoping that this gave you some new ideas on how to use that digital paper upload and different ideas on how to use Cricut Design Space as a designing feature and not just use it to import and cut things. I hope that you can now see that there are lots of ways that you can use it to design your projects, to print and cut, to use different colors, just all kinds of things you can do. That's my tutorial for today, a little different than usual because there's no finished project, but maybe we learned some new things, got some new ideas. Maybe you didn't learn anything, but you're inspired to use a feature a little differently. If so, let me know that, because it's always fun to know what you guys are doing and what you're up to in Cricut Design Space. So again, thank you for joining me at Scrappy Horses on YouTube. You're always welcome at my channel. Come visit me anytime, and I'll be releasing a new video very soon. I have a big one coming out March 1st, and this is 2021 if you're watching it in real time. Have a great week. Bye.